When I read her message, my chest tightened, but I forced myself to breathe slowly. She wrote, "Going on a sudden trip with my ex, hope you're okay." My fingers hovered over the screen, and instead of anger, I typed back calmly, "No problem." She had no idea what those 2 words really meant. We had been together for 3 years, and I had given her my loyalty, my trust, and my future plans. I thought we were building something lasting. But lately, I had sensed her drifting away. Her late replies, her fake excuses, and the way she avoided eye contact told me everything. Her message only confirmed what my instincts already knew. I didn't confront her. I didn't beg her to stay. Instead, I decided to stay silent and act wisely. I had already started preparing for this day weeks ago. I knew she was still talking to her ex, and instead of fighting her about it, I quietly gathered proof. Screenshots, call logs, and photos, all saved neatly in a folder. The trip she was going on was not as sudden as she pretended. I knew where they were going, what hotel they booked, and even the exact time of their departure. Her ex had no idea that his social media was wide open, and I had eyes everywhere. That night, instead of sulking, I invited a few close friends over. They had seen how loyal I had been to her, and they knew how unfair she had been to me. I told them my plan, and they agreed I deserved better than to be treated like a fool. But my revenge wouldn't be loud or violent. It would be quiet, sharp, and permanent. The next morning, while she was busy packing for her sudden trip, I transferred my things out of the apartment. Everything I had bought, everything I cared about, I took it all. By the time she left, our shared home looked exactly as it did when I first moved in, empty. I didn't stop there. She had always relied on me for bills, rent, and expenses. Without telling her, I had slowly shifted everything into her name. The lease, the utilities, even the credit card she thought I was paying off, it was all hers now. By the time she returned, reality would hit her harder than any argument ever could. As she enjoyed her trip with her ex, posting smiling pictures on her private story, I sent a single email to her parents. Attached were the screenshots and evidence of her affair. I wasn't cruel in my words, just factual. I knew how much she valued their approval, and I let the truth speak for itself. Then I walked away. I blocked her on every platform, changed my number, and left no trace. To her, it would look like I vanished overnight, leaving only the silence she thought I would never give her. When she returned from her trip, I heard through mutual friends that she was shocked. The apartment was bare, the bills were waiting, and her parents were furious. Her ex, realizing the chaos she brought into his life, distanced himself within days. Suddenly, she had no one to lean on. She tried reaching me through mutual friends, begging for an explanation, but I stayed silent. My "no problem" reply was the last thing she ever received from me. It was my way of saying, I won't fight for someone who already chose to betray me. Over the next few weeks, I focused on myself. I poured my energy into work, picked up old hobbies, and surrounded myself with people who valued me. The freedom I felt was heavier than the love I had once given her, and it felt good to finally breathe without suspicion. She, on the other hand, sank deeper. Without her ex's support, without my help, and without her family's trust, she had nothing left but regret. People told me she cried, saying she wished she had never sent that message. But life doesn't rewind. Choices come with consequences. Months later, I saw her once by chance. She looked older, tired, and broken. She tried to smile at me, but I simply nodded and walked past. The chapter was closed, and I had no interest in reopening it. In the end, her trip with her ex cost her everything. And all it took from me was 2 words, "No problem."